Buenas tardes.
Good afternoon, brother. How are you? How you doing? Welcome back to this fantastic Wednesday. How's everything going, man?
I am wonderful. Thank you. Welcome, and it's good to see you. This is our. We were just telling our guests how much we look forward to this moment on Wednesdays. I gotta apologize real quick for something because we'll have the bobblehead contest again. Like we did last week. But I meant to
Uh huh.
send some of those with
Uh huh.
my sister, and because it was not on my calendar, as everybody makes fun of me and all that. I never thought of it until now.
Yeah. Yeah. I was expecting. I was the first thing I was expecting out of her bag when she got here. She had no clue what I was talking about, so that's
Yeah, that's
okay.
totally my fault. The good news
Hmm.
is I'm still here, and there's plenty of ways to get them to you. But so we had a really kind of a sad Sunday. I don't know if you want to talk about that or not, but
I do, man. I am. I'm feeling way better about it. I think if you read my Facebook on Sunday, you probably know what we're talking about. So, man, I really took things into perspective. So, what we're talking about is Dak Prescott's injury on Sunday, and I'm a very big fan. I started following his legacy since he was at Mississippi State.
yeah,
Actually, when he took the program to the number one ranked in the nation, and they beat Alabama that year. So I've been following him since then. But one of the things that I thought about late Sunday and just kind of relating it to our program here, our podcast is. That's not the ironically, that is not the worst thing has happened to him in his life, right?
no,
And I understand an injury is an injury, and I understand it's devastating, but this is something that he can come back from, heal up, and just get on the field right again. There's other things that have happened to him that he just can't do anything about. So that gave me really really good perspective as to how to deal with these things, at a smaller scale, because obviously he's a quarterback in professional sports, but I mean that's my perspective.
yeah, and he's franchise tagged, and I don't want to get into any of that, but we'll see. But undoubtedly, he will come back. I didn't have any worries about them being able to fix the problem and the way it broke and all that. Got a lot of work ahead of him, but I know he'll come back, and hopefully with the Dallas Cowboys. And it was a tough deal to see. I'm glad, at least I didn't see any replays. I'm glad that it wasn't looped, as usual, over and
Yeah,
over. There's no reason for that, It's
yeah.
so. What else is going on? What? Gali was here with us this weekend.
Yes.
You have fun?
Yes. Yep. My daughter was out there with you. One of the very few times that she's gotten out on her own. So we as parents were very nervous. But you know what? Again, one of those things where there was an opportunity amongst all the problems happening, and it was a great time to have her join you and your family, right? As we, we're Texas is a very big state and separates us by a lot of miles, and these are the opportunities we want to take for our children to be together. And I'm very happy that she took that opportunity to go out there with you guys and spend some time. She had a lot of fun. She loves Arlington. She says that she may potentially move out there, so I don't know. But she
Yeah,
really likes being out there.
yeah, UTA, yeah, 600 miles. But
Hmm.
yeah, I'm glad she does, and I'm glad we're here, and we'll see what the future brings. But really glad to see her and Dad and Monica and her family and Andy and everyone. And I got to see how homeschool works now. The Zoom and everything because it just
Yes. Hmm.
we don't my girls are done with high school, so they do their own thing, but it's a tough deal. It's a tough
It
deal.
is. It is, man. It's a lot of things to manage, and I feel for all the parents out there. I mean, at least mine are in high school and can sort of manage themselves outside of distractions. But anybody, in elementary and in middle school, it must be tough. But so I'm glad you got to see that, and like I said, just taking the opportunity to see the many experiences this new world order is creating around us. um, But so before we get started, man, here on introducing our guests and moving forward, I do want to tell everybody. So last week we had a technical difficulty. So I just want to say that if we come across any technical difficulties today, don't worry, we'll come right back. It's just a lot of internet usage is going on, so we're starting to see a little bit, but hopefully we can run through this very smoothly. So with that.
My name is Javier Nájera, and we are Problems.
And my name is Jorge and Opportunities. So tell us what our
Hey,
podcast is all about, man.
but we forgot the bobblehead. So I got
Oh
another
yeah.
bobblehead. Let's see who that is.
Is that Elvis? No. That's either Andrews or Beltran?
And look who the. Oh, I can't show that. The great Vlad Guerrero.
Oh, Guerrero.
Anyway, I'll show you who the sponsor was. I didn't even notice that. Folks, thanks for joining us tonight. Sometime ago, many years ago, someone told me that where there are problems, there are opportunities, and that's why we call our podcasts as such. And we believe in that. We believe in, problems are not fun, certainly not solving them, but opportunities always come from them. And that is our belief. And that's what we try to bring every week for this space. Spend a little time talking about that, bringing people who obviously don't mind giving us of their time, but also telling us how they've managed to find those opportunities and how they have done that. And so we're always excited. This is the first time we have a couple as our guests, two people versus one, meaning husband and wife in this case. But we're really excited to have them here with us tonight, and we're going to enjoy our time today. So, brother, who do we have tonight?
Absolutely, and I want to tell everybody. So today we have a very dynamic and enthusiastic couple. It's the best, absolutely the best way I can describe them. If you guys live in El Paso or driving around the El Paso area, you're going to see this billboard. The very first time that I hadn't met them, but when I started in real estate, I would see them everywhere, and they had this billboard where they were high fiving each other, right? And no matter where I would drive, these guys and I felt because typically when you see a realtor broker picture, they're standing up straight, smiling right at the camera, and really not doing anything, right? Well, these guys were high five, and that's pretty much all you need to know about these two, and kind of sets the tone when you meet them. So, guys, welcome to our podcast. Thank you so much for being with us tonight.
Oh, absolutely. We're so excited to be here and talk and thank you for that. Thanks for thinking about us on the highway. That's what we wanted you all to do. We're always with you.
Yeah, absolutely.
You guys have to send me a picture of who captured you guys high fiving like that.
Yeah, we love it. We find it.
And it is intriguing because when I first saw you guys, I was trying to figure out where you guys were at. I still don't know where you were at, but you're sitting, you were standing, but it really caught my attention watching you guys, high fiving and smiling at each other, because it really sets that tone for when you finally. And then the one I met first was Edgar, and I met him at an open house, and then he helped me show a house that was his listing, and guy shows up with a suit and tennis shoes, and I mean, it was great. We had a lot of fun in that showing. And I always love having peers in our podcast, because that's how you learn. And and the idea is to share ideas and to really reach out to the community together to make a difference. But the way I want to start this out, guys, is tell us a little bit about your past, so our viewers can get to know you a little more. Where were you guys born and raised? What high schools, etc. Anything you want to tell us about yourself?
Oh, okay. So I started. I'm from El Paso, born and raised in El Paso, and I have grown up all my life here. I've never really been outside the states until we started experiencing traveling and all that good stuff. But I was born and raised, and I'm from initially the east side of El Paso. So yeah, that's where I've grown up. Me and Edgar have been married 19 years. We're going on 20 this upcoming year,
Yep.
2021. And as most of you all know, I met him on the dance floor of Far West Rodeo. And from there, everything just went downhill or uphill.
Uh-oh.
Years.
No more high five.
No,
It's coming down.
She meant uphill. She meant uphill.
I went uphill.
It's all
I
good.
didn't mean downhill. But we here in El Paso, we have 4 children. Our oldest is 23, and she's already off, doing college and helping us on the side of the real estate business, which she's almost there. So she'll be helping us out in the business here, and then of course we have a senior at El Dorado High School, named Soraya, and we have Ashley. She's a sophomore. She goes to El Dorado High School, and then I have my little guy, JJ, who is 10 and he's a 5th grader. So that's all of them are my babies, but he's my baby. Right?
Well,
That's awesome.
Yes.
Well, I don't know how to up the downhill part of it. For me, it was actually a great starting point. I guess where my life began, right? But so yeah, I'm born and raised here in El Paso. So we know the ins and outs here. I grew up in Northeast El Paso. So I'm an urban rocket. For all those that don't know, now you do. And I was actually a part of the good football team at the time, which was back in the late '90s. And so yeah, it's been a lot of fun. And that's a little bit about me. I think Jackie summed it up. It's our group, it's our family, and that's really that's who we are.
So going back really quick to your early days, when you guys met, you met in the dance floor. So tell us a little bit about what you each did for a living back then.
Okay. So when I started speaking with Edgar, I was going for the sheriff's department at that time. Like, I applied for it. I really didn't know what I wanted to do. I just know that I wanted to be in some type of in either law or, something in law. So I decided that, why not go for the sheriff's department and be a correctional officer at that time, and then grow to be a deputy, get into be a deputy, and then a detective, and then, I don't know. That was my whole entire plan. So at 20 years old, I did, sign up for it. They called me, and I went through the whole test, the academy, the panels, and you name it. Before you know it, I am a correctional officer at the sheriff's office. And I was there for 5 years. So from 20 to 25, I was serving there at the sheriff's office.
That's great.
And I just want to add, we did meet at the dance floor, and I didn't meet her downtown. We went there at the sheriff's department. Me coming in was actually I was finishing my last year in college. I went to NMSU. I just finished my what I call my football career was over there, and decided to kind of work my way back to El Paso. And one thing that Jackie's never been able to resist is a good dancer, and that's what I was. So that's I brought it on.
All right, brother, that's awesome.
we understand, Edgar, because both my brother and our fame to claim with dancing is because it comes. Well, if you ever see my dad dance and the people and our forefathers, we had no choice but to be great dancers. So we love to dance. So I get that. I wanted to go to one small thing. You said El Dorado High School, one of your children. I'm going to give you a little claim to fame because I know this kid will be in college football somewhere. But on my wife's side of the family, number 5, Ricardo Portillo, is your starting quarterback. Boy, he is going to be something to watch. He is a son. It's complicated, but he's the son of a second cousin of my wife. But we're all family, so we're real excited to see him play.
Oh wow, that's really good news. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's the first tie we have through El Dorado High School and our children, or well, it's not my son, but through family.
Yes. Yes.
Beautiful.
Yeah, that's really awesome.
So you guys got you said you three daughters and a son, correct?
That
Yes.
is right.
So give us. So my brother can relate a little bit. He's got all women. I have a son and a daughter, so But give us a little insight as to Edgar. Maybe you can tell us how it's been in a household full of women.
Well, I kind of had a head start, or I like to say, I cheated a little bit. I grew up with three sisters, so I know what the household feels with all that estrogen in there, and so that's allowed me to definitely adapt well. And I came into the situation. A little bummed out at first because all I was producing was females, and just being a guy thing, being a macho thing. I don't know if it's an El Paso thing. I wasn't doing well in that department, but anyhow, it's been fun. It does take a lot of balancing, being able to manage a room because there's just so many different dynamics from a women perspective as to how they handle from what they wear, makeup. It's crazier now that they're older because there's certain items that are missing, and she's like, "Who grabbed this and who grabbed that?" And then I have to be the principal, which is that I don't like being that guy, but it's fun for sure. It's fun there at the household.
I don't like being that guy either. So my world is entirely women. A wife, two daughters, and we can go on from there. One sister, one, So in my world, especially, I would say starting, well, not fifth grade, but between the stuff that's straighten your hair and all the chemicals and all the stuff, and
Yeah.
I mean, especially if it's a special event or party or something. I mean, it's just I just I do my thing and then go with my two dogs and we just hang out somewhere away from them. But I gotta tell you this: there's nothing as special as having all the ladies around you because when something's up with me, guess what? It's all love. So it's worth it. It's so worth it.
Absolutely. And
Or,
I will add this. One thing that Jackie's grandparents mentioned to us a long time ago. You guys may not, especially to me, like you may not know it now, but one day you're gonna be very blessed because girls will always stick around, and they do take
That's
care
right.
of you, and the love they do share. Not that my boy doesn't give me love, but his love's a little different. I walk into the door and I get hit right in the stomach as a hello. That's a little
Yeah.
different. So for sure.
Well, we're the hunters and gatherers, and that may not be a great term right now, but so we go out and do our own thing, but the girls will always be with you. Um, I know, speaking of get a little into business, um, none of us expected to have this pandemic come to us, this COVID-19, however I use COVID myself, but a lot of people use Corona. But how, talk to us about that. How, well, first of all, how long have you been in the real estate business, and how did what I want people to understand is how much sometimes people have to pivot or change. What was that like?
Well, when all of this really came down to the importance of it being so critical out there and so alive, and it was so scary for Edgar and I and the family. For the reason being is we were very scared of getting it, and then of course giving it to either we didn't know at that point if we were giving it to the kids or the kids to us or we give it to our parents. It was just a big old ball of confusion. I feel it did not hurt the business, but in a way it did because at the same time we were so scared to do either if we were doing the right thing or the wrong thing, still going out there, taking appointments, showing homes, A to Z. We still, no matter what, had to be out there. We live on a commission, so we don't get a salary every 2 weeks like others do. So it was either lose that money and be afraid behind, or take every precaution that we can to go out there and serve our clients the best way that we could with all the safety precautions. We were nervous to go out there and bring it to the kids and to our family, but at the same time, we were going to lose money if we didn't. So I kind of feel that was a really big challenge for us. But me and Edgar, we just did everything that we were supposed to do and take the precautions and take the business because we would lose it. And who's gonna pay the bills?
Right.
Who's gonna support all of that?
Right.
So we did. That was something that we really sat down and talked about. But we really did have to go out there and do that. And as for the kids, we just had to keep them in our little bubble, and that was at home.
Right.
And Jackie, when so to backtrack a little bit, so your Jackie Stevens Real Estate Group, how long have you had it for? How long have you guys been in business?
I've been in the business since 2006. So that's when 9/11 happened, and of course, it's a totally different, what we went through back then to now. But I've been in the industry 14 years now, and then Edgar's been with me 4 years. Um, so yeah.
Oh, okay. So you've been in the business way longer than Edgar has.
Yes. Uh-huh.
Okay. So with your group now, I mean, what would you guys say was the biggest difficulty when COVID hit? I mean, I know you talked about your worries and your fears and things like that, but what became very problematic where you had to adjust and just run with it?
Well, I think that's a very good question, and I think what helped Jackie and I kind of take it to that next level was knowing that with our, not to get into like brokers and stuff like that, but with our company that we did join with EXP, it was set up. The platform is there to allow us to kind of pick up and strategize and work together, not only locally here in El Paso, but nationally, and what was working. A lot of the stuff that a lot of realtors are starting to do now, video, virtual tours, that kind of deal. EXP kind of had a legwork on that. So it allowed us to kind of use those systems in place to help ours and not completely freak out and not lose a beat, because at the end of the day, there's a certain, you know, record that we got to keep for, we represent also like signature homes. So we have to hit and sell their homes. That doesn't stop. Our sellers that are out there that had homes that were for sale, we couldn't stop and not sell their home because of COVID. We had to find different ways, be unique, be different. Kind of like your show too. It was a problem that kind of that was there, but there was also an opportunity for us to not worry so much about sales, but actually worry about the people and what way we can help them, right? Because it wouldn't feel right if we were calling them and be like, hey, we want to sell your home, or hey, you want to buy a home. It was more like, hey guys, how are you simply doing, and how can we help you right now? Rates have dropped. Have you looked into maybe refinancing? So it allowed us to get a good time with some of these past clients and people that we share an experience with, but really touch their feelings and make sure that they were okay. Then we could talk about all that later on.
That was
Yeah, absolutely.
that was huge. What you just said, because uh, you're almost everyone who comes on here is, and a lot of people who come on here are self-employed. You have a system in place. You have your processes, your systems, and they work. And then all of a sudden, you have this thing happen, right?
Yeah.
And you have to figure out how to mold, how to change. But what you said was so dear to my heart. Where, okay, we're not changing just because we want to make a dollar. We're changing because there's people out there who are going through the same thing, and how can we help them? How can we help them, and in the process help us? And I think that's huge. I really like that's your approach.
Yes, that is a good approach. Also, I'd like to add on that also. What helped me change in the business too, and what I was, directing the agents to do too, is this is a good time for us to reflect on everything, right? Where our business is, where our family is, where everything is, our past clients, our future clients. So we literally went.
I think the froze up on a little bit on us. We might have a little bit of technical difficulty here. That's okay. They'll come back.
Yeah, they'll come back. There we
Uh,
go. They're coming back.
they're coming back.
Okay, yeah, we're here. We're here. So what we
Yeah,
did,
don't worry.
No worries.
what I did too, and this was so awesome that we did gain a lot of results from, is we got to reflect back to our past clients and our future clients. Like Edgar was saying, we just wanted to reach out to them, see how they were doing, and let them know that we were thinking about them. We went back to our Buffini cards because I remember I went to Buffini years ago, and we got all these cards, and they were just thrown in my office drawer. And I pulled them all out, and I just started writing handwritten notes to everybody, and sent them to all my past clients, just saying that we were thinking about them. That really hit home because, you know, there was a lot of them that were going through such a rough time with the whole COVID, and just by that simple little card, we got a lot of, how can I say, like gratefulness, or not gratefulness, what is it, like.
Well, it means a lot. It's little shows of gratefulness. That's a great word, actually. It means a lot to receive just something that says, "Hey, this person's thinking about me, and they took 2 minutes to do this for me." People don't understand how great that is.
Is so powerful, and that's what I told Edgar. That's what I want to keep on implementing is, staying that way, the connection with our past clients, because those are relationships that we built. So I kind of feel like the COVID had really hit us in good ways too, because we were able to stop and pause and deal with that as well.
And that was literal. I mean, the world stopped and paused, right? Like when everybody was asked to quarantine, and you would see the views of a lot of oceans and lakes, and just places that really cleaned up. Animals came out, approached the cities. I mean, that was just very, very nice to see. We do have a question from one of our viewers. She's asking if you both were surprised by how many buyers were ready to buy, even though we were in a pandemic.
Yes, we were very surprised on the increase, right? Because what had happened is yes, since the interest rates did drop, a lot of the buyers were getting off the fence or learning, oh my gosh, the interest rates are so low. Yes, it's a perfect time to buy right now. So we did see an increase in the buyers. We are still seeing an increase in people wanting to purchase right now.
Yeah, as an insurance agent, and the person who asked that question is a brilliant insurance agent. What I saw a lot of is refinancing.
Yes.
And so, back to your point of just reaching out to your customers or reaching out to people, where we didn't know where it was going to go, right? And so, if you just did that one little gesture, but from that came an opportunity maybe to refinance, maybe to do a referral, and things like that, and that's what I saw a lot of. Caitlin Ager, who made that question and who made that comment, and so. This is why we label our this episode like that, because there's always opportunities from whatever comes, even a worldwide pandemic. Because if you were the person to reach out to people, if you were the person to say, "Hey, I'm not sure what I can do for you, but I'm here," it was a huge difference.
Absolutely.
She also comments that she really loved your comment about a great season to reflect, and I must agree. When something like this happens, I think you only have two decisions to make, right? You either get yourself down into what's happening. Not really take advantage of doing things that you can do, because there's a lot of uncontrollables, right? As this pandemic is happening, there's a lot of things that are out of control you just can't do anything about. But let's think about the things that you can control, right? You be with your family, do activities with your family, spend more time with your kids, what else can you do around your house, outside of your house? When we were quarantined, is what I'm talking about, right? But even now, we had to learn how to live with this pandemic, even through our jobs, right? But I think reflection is key, and then really answering the bell when something like a pandemic comes knocking. So really good comment. I have to agree.
Yes, really good comment.
All right, so go ahead.
I had a little
Go
question,
ahead.
and I've always wanted to ask this because I really admire couples who are in it together in business. And by the way, the our commentator is in it with her husband as well. Um, but I know so many. So tell us a little bit about how that is, because it sounds great and easy, but it doesn't necessarily have to be that way. Tell us how it is to run a business, as a couple, as a married couple together.
Well, we had a podcast earlier. I like to interview other husband and wife teams too, because sometimes I'm like,
I know, right? That's a great picture. Oh, I should frame that.
That is a great picture. They'll come back.
Yeah. It is a challenge, but it is probably the greatest challenge because
okay,
there we go. Oh, we were trying to capture that where you
We
landed.
almost took a picture screen of your and then I was gonna that was gonna be your next billboard around El Paso.
after the high fiving, this is what really happens.
Yeah, but go ahead. Go ahead.
Okay. So, a lot of people say, "Gosh, this must be so hard to work with your husband." Oh my God, it's not going to last. It's not going to last. Well, we're 4 years working together and I will tell you, it hasn't been as hard, um, you know, than what people have really or set it out to be. I think me and Edgar balance each other in so many ways. Like, I think we've done such a great job with us being able to say, turn it off and turn it on when it's needed. And that goes from waking up very early in the morning to going to bed, in the evening with business and then the kids. So, how can I say this? We balance each other. So when I'm getting a little out of hand, he's in there to stop me. And when he's getting out of a little bit of a lot out of hand, I tell him, okay, you're at a 10, you need to bring it out of 5, right? But when it comes to business, I think that we have, like right now, we're going through some growing pains, for the reason being, the spike of the buyers buying, sellers needing to sell, and still trying to get our past clients remembered, or stopping to say that we're thinking about them. Or there's just so much going on in the business right now that it's hard for us to have everything aligned the right way. So we are like this right now, but at the end of the day, we always try to balance each other at the end of the night so that we can have a successful morning the next morning. I know I'm all over the place with that, but hopefully that
No,
makes sense.
no. Well, go ahead, Edgar.
No, and I think a lot of it's easier said than done always, right? You want to do certain things, but one thing that this pandemic has brought, and this is so that I always try to tell people, it's definitely challenged everyone to do more with less, right? Because it's not like we can bring on this whole new team right out the gate to handle all our buyers and everything. So we got to work with what we got. But one thing that helps us balance out, I think, is that at the end of the day, we have one common goal. And that one common goal always is to, obviously take care of our client, make sure that they're taken care of no matter what it is and at what cost. And we do that fairly well. And believe it or not, our team goes into our household. Our kids understand what mine and Jackie's schedule really is. And so they all partake in that process, which is really cool because they get to see like, hey, mom and dad are not here. It's go do this. It's like, no, mom and dad are doing what they do. We need to handle business here in our household as well until they get back. So it's really that huge and that long, and I'm very appreciative of that because I don't think they and my kids, if they're on the show, I hope they do see it. But we're very thankful to them because they're understanding, they're flexible, and they also know that they have a responsibility to help us out as well.
Yeah.
I was going to say one thing that was told to me, which is still a struggle, but I work on it every day, is to be where your feet are, right? Wherever you are for that moment. If it's dinner with family, if it's whatever that is, that's where you are. Don't slip away and turn on the computer or take a phone call and all that. It's really difficult because naturally, entrepreneurs, business people, don't want to miss an opportunity, right?
Exactly.
Absolutely.
However, the opportunity to be with your family is imminently more important than something that may be a little trivial. And so that's one thing that's always been uh, that's always a work in progress for me also because it's it's not perfect. I'm still working on that for sure.
Exactly.
Yeah, my wife calls it the no devices on the table rule. So when we're getting ready to have breakfast, lunch, or dinner, she always calls us out, and I think it's definitely a great rule. It's very difficult and not where I need to be at yet. Specifically, setting that example for my children, but I think. Jackie, I absolutely agree with you when you say you guys complement each other. I really do think you guys do. You form. The dynamic is there. When I've dealt and with Edgar and helping me out, and then with you, I think I've talked more with you over the phone than Edgar in person. But I completely see the dynamic, and I think that's important, right? When they say opposites attract. So I think you talked about, and Caitlin is saying that we can have a whole podcast just talking about your dynamic as a couple, trying to do real estate, and I agree.
We're here for you. A little bit of wine and we'll let more out. I'm just kidding.
So that's a good segue for me to ask you guys. Talk to us about your philosophy. So, Jackie, tell us your philosophy, and then Edgar, and how you use it both for business and family.
Me, I always put myself like I'm pretty of straightforward individuals. Like I just say I don't like to sugarcoat anything. It's just black and white. You just got to do it. If there's dreams you have, goals you have, things that you want to do, you just do it. Don't let anybody get in the way of it. Nobody. It's if you believe you can do it, you do it. You take that risk. You take that challenge, but you got to have that support around you. So that's very important. So to me, in anything that I do, as far as like waking up in the morning, I got to get my mind going. I got to tell myself what I'm going to do, and if it's little risks, then I'll take them, just so that I can challenge myself. Because at the end of the day, you're no competition to anybody but yourself. I think a lot of people tend to get, because again, social media is so distracting. At the same time, we need it for our business, but
Exactly.
and now that's how
It's
we
a
have.
double-edged sword. I'm sorry to interrupt you, but it's a double-edged sword because you
Yes,
can spend hours, looking at puppy videos and shopping for cars and
yeah. Now I'm on TikTok. The girls, they laugh at me because they hear me laughing in the room, because I just think some people's videos are so funny because they're actually for real. Like it really happens. Well, okay, so it's so distracting, social media. I wish that I could emphasize so much as let's not try to be like others. Like again, like I mentioned the post today, everybody's life is different. Everybody's life is different. Everybody's book is different. Everybody's journey is different. You got to make your own, and you got to do your own. Just be true to yourself, and it's okay to mess up. It's okay not to get that workout in. Sometimes it's okay to not do some little things, but just do better the next day. That's why we're given a new day every day, is to become better at it. So that's my philosophy. It's just do it. Just do whatever you want to do.
And on my end, one thing I think that's made me very successful is just I follow the leader, man. And it's a good philosophy where I'm not having to combat that or take those battles. But in all all kidding aside, I think the best thing out there that I can just tell everyone is be you, right? It's good to see our mentors or indirect or direct mentorship that we have. You know, whether it's sports figures, whether it's people in our own profession, whatever it is that they're doing, it's phenomenal and it's great. But it doesn't mean that I want to be just like them. I'll steal their great ideas and follow it and share it with our team members, share it with Jackie, maybe try it out, see if it works for us, but never be somebody that we ain't. So one thing that me and Jackie have always tried to do is be us, and we always say it's our four corners that we worry about, that we take care of, and as long as that's uh, you know, taken care of at the end of the day, then that's really all that matters. And for us, it's really it's God, family, and business.
Hmm.
I
That's
see
our
you guys.
philosophy.
Yeah, I see you both, and everybody's watching. There's no doubt you guys are completely
Okay.
in tune with what's going on with your family and with your business and with your faith, everything. And it's a beautiful sight because we need a lot of that right now.
A
Um,
lot. Yeah.
in my world, my wife is a detail person. I'm not. I look at the big picture. I'm the mouth. I'm the social person. She's not, and so it is also a perfect match to the things we're trying to accomplish. Together
Yeah.
in this
Yeah.
business and others. You know what I mean. It just seems together really really well. Um, so I'm glad. I'm so glad to see another couple being able to do that. Uh, together, not only in the business, but to be able to separate the family from that.
Absolutely. Yeah.
What? How many team members do you have?
So currently, it's Edgar and I, being the buyers and listing side. So we've been doing this for the past
For you.
4 years, just me and him. And I didn't have an assistant. I had lost a really good assistant. Well, I didn't lose, but that was my right hand and everything. But she became a real estate agent. She's doing very well. And so therefore, um, it was just me and him. And this year, or these past couple of months, we've hired one buyer's agent. We really want to take it slow. I don't want to move fast because I've done that before and I've fallen on my knees, which is okay, right? If you got to get back
Yeah.
up.
Right.
I'm okay. I'm going to take it super slow. I'm not in competition with anybody. So we're going to start with Michelle as our buyer's agent, and then we have two that are taking their real estate classes right now. So we're going to just stop right there, and then one assistant that we just did a new hire on.
Good.
Yeah,
Um, the part about team members is to make sure that they fit your not only your culture but your purpose, your mission statement. I did not. I kind of failed at the very beginning in my journey with the agency because I that was well I thought I did, but so it's really important that whoever comes joins your team, whether it's one or two people or 50, they understand the culture, they understand your purpose because they will buy into that, they will join your purpose, and it's super important. So
uh-huh.
uh,
I believe that.
we yeah, I mean, there was a question earlier. What is more important to build a house or to build a team? And I think I put team like 8 times
Yeah.
because you could be in the worst facilities that there is as far as workplace. But if you build that team, you can build that stadium, and I can go into really really sports rabbit hole on that. But the team, the people, is what creates the greatness. So
Absolutely. Yep.
we're getting into time here, and so I wanted to ask you guys. We always try to summarize and our podcast with a couple of points, one or two, however you wish to do that. With you know, and we say crystallize because we want that to really be the ending, point for people watching. How would you crystallize your opportunities from problems, or what you are doing and the things, the challenges you've had.
So the challenges is would be it's very hard, right now, and I know it's not just with real estate. It could be, I know a lot of families out there that are suffering from COVID right now, and you know, I think everybody right now should just be super kind to one another, be super respectful for, a lot out there that have their different opinions, different values, different everything. I'm not going to just speak on behalf of the real estate or anything like that. It's with everybody. I just feel that, it's a very hard time for everybody. Fortunate for some people, unfortunate for others. And we just need a lot more humbleness and a lot more support and advice. And to me, to, crystallize the show, I always say if there's any questions that you need or concerns, we're always a phone call away. And I thank you, George, for bringing this podcast show because, I think it's important that you as a real estate agent serving the community here in El Paso reaches out to us and we come together, to help others or give advice, like you're saying, attacking those obstacles and, solutions all together.
Absolutely, Jackie, and you know what? Thank you guys for being with us tonight. We learned a lot. I learned way more about you guys now. I feel I got to know you better. I'm never afraid to reach out to a peer. I know we're always busy, especially right now. The industry, the market is very, very busy, and we're always busy, right? We wake up, our phone gets going, and it doesn't stop till we go to bed. But my mom who passed away last year, one time she we were having a conversation and she told me, she said, if you go into a room and you're the smartest person in that room, you're in the wrong room. You need to get yourself in a room where you're learning more about other people and about how to make yourself better. And I've always kept that in my heart, which is why I'm never afraid to do things like these. Anytime I call either of you or anybody else, right, whether it's to see if a listing is available or to see how a file is going or anything like that, I always try to get a golden nugget from people that I know will do well. You mentioned, to create your own, you said, quote unquote, make your own journey as you were explaining your philosophy. And I think that's great. I think sometimes we focus too much on other people and what other people are doing and how they're doing it and things like that, which there's nothing wrong with it, right? But I think it's important that you always focus back to your own goals and your journey, and whether that's going to take 10 years, 5 years, or 1 year. I don't think it matters. You said it yourself. You guys want to take it slow, right? If your team is going to grow, then it's going to grow, and if it's not, it's not. But again, thank you so much, guys, for being with us today. I know your time is very valuable. I was very excited when you guys said yes, and we're here tonight. We learned a lot. I know our viewership already appreciates it, especially in times like these. So thank you so much, guys.
You're very welcome, guys. Yes, anytime.
Thank you.
And we'll post your the way to contact you and your brokerage and things like that. And we're on Facebook and YouTube tonight. Thank the folks who spent our time with us tonight, our audience, because without them, it's just us. So we really want to thank them. We want to thank the people who commented. Caitlin, I want to tell you, Caitlin is an amazing person. I'm really glad she came on tonight and commented. She you just can't imagine the things she's doing. But with that, for my brother Jorge, this is Problems.
And for my brother Javier, and Opportunities. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you. Bye-bye.